This beautiful marsh here, it's healthy ecosystem, Rye recreation back here, wasn't always like this. Stay tuned after the top 10 and we're going to tell you how it happened.
Water is a big topic this week. First of all, Rye Water District is looking for more places to locate wells. Some of these locations are actually on conservation land. On September 15th, the Rye Water District, Select Board, and Rye Conservation are meeting about additional wells on the conservation land. That meeting will be at 7:30 at the junior high. The agenda has yet to be posted though. Another thing to keep in mind is we're likely going to need a $10 million plus water treatment plant as New Hampshire Department of Environmental Safety is reducing the standards for manganese and PFOAs. Prior to the meeting on the new wells, there'll be a presentation on why healthy marshes matter, which is why we're in front of one right now, by David Burdick in the library. So again, that's on September 15th at 6 p.m. Another issue regarding water, an update on the Coakley landfill from representatives of DES, EPA, and the Coakley Land Group showed no progress has been made in remediating the site. And updated guidance essentially is going to say that no level of PFAS is acceptable in our drinking water. I highly suggest you look at the slides from the presentation that are in the draft select board minutes, and the presentation itself is on the video. Water once again. Rye Water District reports pumping totals continue to climb monthly and on a yearly basis. Rye Water District also said there's not sufficient capacity for the Route 1 major developments that have been planned, leading the planning board to actually question whether any new developments can be approved in the Rye Water District area. Finally, or not finally, but yes, with all that about water, are you following the mandatory watering and irrigation directive? Lastly, for me on water, the Harbor Road Bridge is falling apart. Initial inspection revealed accelerated deterioration, and action that will cost us money will be needed to be taken soon.
Okay, my ink hasn't run. Rye now is going to have in 30 days a new town administrator. If you remember, Mike Magnet was only 80%. When Becky Bergeron started, it was for a little bit, but she was doing double duty, finance, training, etc. So Matt Scrutiny is the current town administrator in Greenland. In 30 days, it will start here. We've got a link to his LinkedIn profile and the announcement then. If you've ever had any angst about cell phone coverage, what happened with Town Hall, the development, anything that's happened the past 10 or 15 years, if you don't want those same type of problems to continue, now's the time to get involved with a master plan. A well thought out master plan can help do that. The planning board is going to be asking from anywhere between $95,000 to $145,000 to come up with a new master plan. To help that, they've been asking people, so we may have a homogeneous perspective. If we want a diverse and talented group, people need to step up. If they push back and said 5's enough, you need to step up and get involved. And you can email that if you're interested. Speaking of getting involved, we were doing pretty good with having our boards and have enough people, but we're really short-handed with alternates and members on a number of boards. Please look at the volunteers and reach out and get involved. Another one is, last year we had over $25 million spent on schools and towns. If you go to the public hearings at the end of middle of January, it's too late. They want to sign off right there. They not want to hear your inputs, make changes. Now is the time to start getting involved with the different sections. You can go to the all-day meetings, figure out when they're going to be talking about the subjects you want, and go there. Also, talking about the Rye zoning ordinances, the new town attorney has been reviewing the Rye zoning ordinance since this spring. There's been very little discussion in the public about what those changes are. There's a non-public on the 6th, and a lot of those changes we've made still aren't available on the website for people to be looking at. Year to date, there's been 111 variances led by dimensions, wetlands, buffer, and non-conforming buildings. Look forward to seeing everyone on September 15th. September 28th, we're going to be at the Inn at Rye Place for Rye Night Out. Boy, if you weren't at the campfire at Sawyer's Beach, you missed it.
Okay.
All right, as you can see, we're right behind, across from Route 1A on Ocean Boulevard by the Rye Harbor. So in this site, if you ever drove down that dirt path, if you were here in 1941 and 1962, we dredged Rye Harbor and dumped everything in these 19 acres. It was piled up 1 feet to 6 feet over it, and as you can imagine, killed just about the whole ecosystem. And then in November 2001, it started. By 2005, over 30 acres of salt marsh had been restored. So one of the biggest restoration projects in Rye, and now we have a healthy ecosystem that you can do. And on September 15th, you're going to learn much more about why marshlands and wetlands are so important to Rye.